screen button. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. So first up, always a quick look at the Forex Factory calendar. And what I'm actually interested in seeing next week is actually what is the Australian unemployment figures that come out next week. So the Australia market is actually a bit interesting right now. There are a lot of opportunities to long the Australian dollar. Momentum wise, it's also, seems to be on the upside and on the fundamental basis, right, because of the interest rate differentials. So if you see the AUD interest rate differentials, right, it's currently at 3.6%, which is still one of the higher interest rates given in the market right now, and growth rates as well. So it's not like super great, but the recent GDP figures have been quite healthy. So there's a potential growth rate that's appearing down there. So theoretically, if interest rates, if inflation rates, can hold. So inflation now is at 2.1%. So if inflation can hold, this means that there is going to be more upside possibility in Australia. Now, there's a bit of political stability, which means nothing too fantastically weird happening in Australia right now. On fiscal position, their government debt and deficit is low by global standards. So if on a measure of the debt ratio, I would say it's kind of looking pretty good as well. And on the commodity side, I think in the recent months, especially the iron ore futures have been trading at one of the best levels, partly probably because of the tariff situation as well. So Australia's terms of trade actually is also pretty healthy. So what I'm actually looking for is a bit more of upside on the Australian dollar. Now the question usually is, what do I then pair it with, right? So if we look at Aussie, I think I would like to go back to the Aussie Swiss. Now, while the Swiss is not particularly very bearish, but given the statistics is more of a, I would say, neutral, slightly bearish but slightly neutral, and also one point against the Swiss is it's been on the upside for very long. So a currency pair that I'm actually looking at, this is on a weekly time frame, is the Aussie Swiss. And Aussie Swiss, why I like it mainly is because on the JDR Securities platform, it is giving us positive swaps, which means we don't have to rush to get out of this trade. There is enough time for the trade to breathe in a sense. So I have a level over here, which is the $53 level, this upper limit over here. So what I'm looking for, this on a weekly time frame, if you go down to the daily, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for opportunities for price to break above the $53 level and then give us a retest to the upside. All right, and this could take some time. All right, so it's been living in this area for really long right now. I think if we look at the current, it's been here since I think July, so almost a year. So it's been trading in this range for almost a year. Is it going to finally break out? It's already tested this level once. Okay, so it's tested this level, I think once. This is the second time it's tested this level. So if price does come back down, it's pretty normal, but I will look at buy areas anywhere at this level, at the lower half of this range over here. And to get that confirmation is for price to kind of break and retest towards the upside. So while price is not the best place to buy now, but it's definitely a potential, because as the Australian economy continues to, improve, and of course, if China does get back on its feet a little bit faster as well, then we should see a lot more upside coming into Aussie dollar. The question is, when do we buy in? So for this one, right, I think on a shorter time frame, meaning that if we for the shorter time frame, I'm looking for possible buys only if price kind of gives us a retest. Okay, to give us a retest at this area. So basically a technical level. I do want to see retest into the 0.53. TP1 would be at 0.53 because we want to make sure that price really can break above the 0.53 level. As you can see, it's having difficulty breaking over. Every time it hits 53, there's a lot of selling pressure over here on a technical level. So we want to be on the side of the major market movers. So only wait for the break and retest before it's a confirmation that this particular, I would say, range has been broken. I think it might happen pretty soon, maybe another couple of weeks, couple of months, mainly because it's already trading out of the minor range. So we have a small range over here. It's forced breakup once already. This is the second time, and on the third try, it might really finally push above. So it's all about a bit of timing. And again, of course, waiting for that commodities market to start to continue being strong. And if you look at the commodities market, and of course, oil being one of them as well, where is oil prices at this moment? Oil is really floating at the $62 level, also at the lower area of this area. So oil traditionally, seasonally, it usually it goes on a rally towards the end of the year. All right, so the question then is this going to be in time with the seasons? And seasonally might not be the best play right now because due to the Trump tariffs, I think the seasonal data is going to be very, very different from past years because things politically are not the same anymore. So the question is, even though politically they're not the same, but will oil price continue to have the kind of strength is needed to push towards the upside? So I think over the last couple of months, especially, you can see oil really, really very choppy, trading really in price ranges. So it's now holding quite strongly above 61. I'm questioning whether it will touch the $60 before going back up. If this does happen, then it will give a bit more upside to the commodity currencies, Australia dollar being one of them. The other currency pair that I'd like to look at is also the Euro Swiss. Now, the Euro Swiss, very, very similar to the Aussie Swiss, is that it's got positive swaps to the upside on JDR securities. And why do I like this pair again? If we look at it on a weekly time frame, it's really at an all-time low. And the euro is a little bit more robust comparatively to the rest of the economies. So there's two reasons why I like the Euro Swiss. Number one, it's at an all-time low compared to the Euro Swiss, which means there is probably more buying pressure at this bottom area. But if we go and look at the lower time frames, the question is when do we really want to jump in? So it's all about waiting for that levels and not jumping in too early. So we have a little bit of a range as well. I think 0.94 is the current upper limit of this so-called smaller range, right? So I think there'll be a bit of upside, a bit of resistance over here. I will only want that confirmation again if it's able to break above 0.94, but more conservatively, I think 0.945, this area would be a cleaner buy signal from a technical perspective as well. So price has been rejected off this area. So high probability price will kiss this area again. And then the question is, will the euro have enough conviction to break and retest and hit towards the upside? So while I am a bit bullish on the euro, the question is the Swiss currency soft enough to accommodate this level, and will there be any interference from the Swiss National Bank as well? All right, so the euro Swiss is also one buy area. Sorry, yeah, the buy area is around this area. Anything touching this lower zone, I would say, and then no rush because positive stops, right? So nice long holds all the way to at least level 1.94, 0.945, and then only if it gives me a clear technical break and retest, then we can potentially hit towards the next level, which is about 0.965. So this is fundamentally where I think euro has the potential to go over the next maybe 6 months, I would say. But very, very annoying thing about the euro Swiss, it's very range bound. You can see the candles are very, very choppy, which is why I would not recommend buying in the middle of nowhere. I would only like to, explore it at the lower zones. But once it does get there, then the question is we have to be kind of ready to know what are the types of trades we take. So your strategy and your, trading journal and your planning will still come in as well. And that's all I have for this week. So in summary, I think I'm on Lloyd's side. I'm pretty bullish on the euro, a little bit soft on the Swiss. But I'm a bit more bullish on the Aussie as well because I think the Aussie recovery has potential. So that's where the Aussie Swiss comes in. And a little bit of a cleaner break and retest above the 0.53 level. If we do get that, then I think 0.5545, this upper limit here is a possible profit level for the first move, I would say. Hope that's all for me this week.
Or can I jump in at
Yes, please do.
Yeah. So Alexis has just talked a bit about oil. I'm just going to share something of my own bias, which I've been trading for the past few years. Let me see, where is it? I'm going to snatch Alexis' screen.
Here you go.
Yeah. Personally, I don't trade oil. I got burned by it once. I think I'm scared of it already. But on the stocks side, right now I'm just changing over the stock side. I've always, towards the end of the year, that means actually the last quarter of the year, I've always most of the time I always long natural gas. And you can see from 2017 to now, starting from July, August, September, October, November, you can see that this is a pretty good period to actually power into your position for long natural gas. Especially you can see since 8 out of the 9 years in the past, natural gas have always closed bullish for that particular month. So, this year, no difference. I'm still going to long natural gas. Just going to find a pretty solid looking setup. I'm just going to get in. Especially now, I would look. I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying this. I think India will fall to US pressure. They will just sort of wean off some of cheap Russian natural gas imports. Yeah, so that will actually make an impact on the market. Because once the cheap imports stops flowing in, then naturally demand and supply law comes in. It will price in higher. Yeah. So the technicals says that from September, October, November, pretty good time to actually get in, especially September. Yeah, position yourself in for a long natural gas. I don't know whether you trade stocks or MT4, MT5. Yeah, that's about it. All right, with that, thank you